What is up, everyone? My name is Carlos, and in today's video, starting off hot 2025, it's actually a very exciting video. Let me give you guys a bit of context before we get into it. Essentially, one night I was on LinkedIn. Sorry, I just took a shower and my hair is like all wet, and I was just browsing around. And basically, if you don't know how LinkedIn works, it's like 90% advertisement, other posts that you just don't follow, but they just show you anyways, and then 10% of like the things you actually follow. One of those random things happened to be this new company based in Raleigh, I believe, in North Carolina, and essentially what they're doing is they're certifying EV batteries. So they'll test out the EV battery, tell you the health of it, and then give you a certification of like, hey, this is, how healthy your battery is. Now, from my understanding, this is more of a business to business product. So it's not like it's advertised to the average Joe, like someone like me that can just browse online and buy it. From my understanding, we'll find out more information in just a moment, but this is more of a business to business, like dealerships, used car dealership, other companies. Very intrigued. I shot them a message, just, hey, I'm in Raleigh as well. I'm a small content creator. Let's see if we can, meet up if that's okay with you, test the product. And to my surprise, they're like, yeah, let's do it. And we're going to talk to the CEO today, and we're going to test the product and see how it goes. Now, from my prediction, owning this car for over 2 years and over 60,000 miles, I believe the state of health of my battery is probably going to be closer to 88%, maybe 90%. So that's kind of my guess, 88 to 90. If you want to take a guess down below in the comment section, oh my God, it's so windy. If you want to take a guess in the comment section below, what percentage of health is my battery, go ahead and do so before we find out. But I'm very excited, very grateful for this opportunity. And as a quick disclaimer, I'm not getting paid, I'm not paying them. They were just kind enough to meet with me and just kind of tell me more about the product so everybody knows online. As you know, I love educating and informing people, and I love testing out new technology. So I'm very excited to see what this is all about and to learn more from the CEO himself. All right, so you joined me here with, you said Davide, right?
Yeah, Davide.
Davide, and we are here to get to know his company and his product, Voltest. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, your background, and your product.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, first of all, for having me today. And my name is Davide Giacobbe. I'm the co-founder of Voltest. My background is mechanical engineering, and I spent my whole life in the automotive industry. I work for companies like Yamaha Motor and Lamborghini, always in the R&D departments. And then in 2022, I started what then became Voltest, and we are focusing on EV battery health to determine in a quick and accurate way the battery state of health, and not only that of electric vehicle batteries.
What inspired you to kind of look into creating, testing this whole Voltest company?
Yeah, so in the first place was my personal experience, because when I came here to the US, I was looking for a used EV. But I didn't trust the battery, and I didn't know what to expect from the battery.
I think a lot of people are on the same page, yeah.
So what was the residual battery life? And when considering used Teslas, 20, 30K, I wanted to be sure about the battery status, the battery health. So basically last year we tapped into this problem, because at the beginning our company was focusing more on repurposing and recycling topics of electric vehicle batteries. And then one topic that we have been exposed to multiple times was the one represented by battery health. So we decided to build the product, basically.
As you know, there's a lot of OBD products on Amazon. You can find a ton of them. So what kind of makes Voltest kind of separate from just any cheap one you can buy on Amazon?
Yeah, sure. So basically, compared to the other cheap products we can say that you can find on Amazon, what we have is a product that is capable of generating battery state of health reports in a couple of minutes in a very accurate and comprehensive way. Not only we use our battery analytics to calculate the battery state of health, but also we provide multiple data points about battery health, providing, for example, all the voltage readings for down to the cell level. Okay. And also we read different data from the CAN bus, like the charging history of the car and other multiple data points.
So it's more detailed for EV specific.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely more detailed.
As of right now, is it more of a business to business, like you're more selling it to like dealerships and other bigger businesses, or can like a consumer also buy it, or do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because we have been asked a lot of times if we have the consumer product, but not yet. So the answer is not yet. We basically at the moment serve primarily dealers, wholesale auctions, also inspection companies.
Okay.
We are planning to target even repair shops because we see a great value proposition for them as well. About the consumer product, we haven't identified yet a value proposition for the consumer product, but it's definitely something on the roadmap, and we have been thinking for a while.
I think a lot of new owners who are like new to EV, I think their first like thing that is always on their minds, like, how healthy is my battery, you know, and they fast charge, and you hear a lot of people say, oh, only charge 80% or don't go past 80%. But I mean, like, I personally, my take on it is that like these cars are most of them are over-engineered to take on that high, you know, voltage. Obviously, you don't want to do it every single day, every hour, but I think there's more like fear setting into that than there should be. I've charged this car at a fast supercharger many times, and sometimes I go past 85%, and you know, it's still fine, still holds the charge perfectly fine. But there's a big opportunity to sell a product as simple as yours, where it reads specifically for the EV for just normal consumers. And I even think maybe like you can, because I know it's also subscription based, right? You could even limit, be like, hey, here's a consumer product, but maybe you can only test out your battery like twice per month, or like, you know, something limited for more just everyday Joes that can, that overthink, right? They overthink, they're like, oh, how's my battery doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Last question, because I also did some research on the company. I love what intrigued me a lot, and what I love the idea of having a certificate, like here's your certificate of your car, here's all the details, here's the battery. I love that. I'm sure you're familiar with like Carfax, right? Those commercials like, show me the Carfax, show me the Carfax. So now I feel like there's potential for the future to be like, hey, show me the Voltest, right? Or even partnering up with like Carfax, and you know, within the Carfax itself, you know, owner one, blah, 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 and then the very like middle or bottom Voltest, you know, certificate showing that. Is that something you also plan on, like maybe trying to get more into, I don't know, like more of the Carfax side, or is it more specifically business to business you want to keep on?
No, that's another great question, because we are working to become a standard for the EV industry. So we want to be like I don't want to say the Carfax for EV batteries, but basically the reference for the used EV market, so that consumers can say, show me the Voltest report before to consider buying an EV or when consider selling. So yeah,
because I can definitely see that, like people saying, hey, can you show me the Voltest certificate?
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's definitely a big potential, and I definitely feel like that's the future, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to, before you buy, you want to see the certificate of how the battery is. All right, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And actually, before we get started, do you want to show the product real quick?
Sure.
So here is does this come in a case normally?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the case we sell to the dealers.
Okay.
That includes everything they need to perform a test. So usually we have two different OBD2 devices, and all of these adapter cables are for Teslas.
Okay.
Mainly because we have different adapter cables for different Tesla models.
Okay.
Because as you probably know, Teslas are not communicating battery data through the OBD2 port. So basically gather all the battery data through the CAN bus, you have to connect somewhere else with Tesla. So that's why we need all these adapter cables.
And for the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which one are we using? It's just...
We are using this one and just this, because we don't need any adapter cable. We just connect to the OBD2 port and that's it.
So
so let's start with the procedure. So you can see that it's blinking, and now we can start with the testing procedure.
All right, so in theory, you know, we would go through the whole steps, but for now I'm just going to have him explain, and we're going to use his account to kind of speed things up.
Yeah, exactly. So we go to my account. Basically here there are other reports we have generated, and we use this app that is Power Check Control. We select the right model, so it's the Hyundai Ioniq 5. This is my account, so I go through all the steps. The car must be with the door closed and in park position, so we can start the testing procedure.
Now, is that app exclusive to you guys, or is it? It is. Okay.
We need to press the brake pedal every 5 seconds to ensure that all the ECUs on the vehicle are not falling asleep, basically. Now the VIN has been identified. So basically the procedure has gone through already, and I can go to my Voltest account, and this is the report. So you have 95% of battery state of health, 60,217 miles, and this is basically the status of the battery pack with a cell imbalance on 20 millivolt. So basically it's super healthy, and all the data about the charging history. So you have done a lot of, I can say, fast charges. This is what you said before. Basically, I never seen before, up to now a car with 39% fast charges, but that's good.
39%, but 95.
Yeah, 95 is still super good.
Yeah.
And this is the report. So basically, as you have seen with the Hyundai, we don't need to connect with adapter cable, so the process is super fast. It just takes a minute to collect all the data from the CAN bus.
Now, out of curiosity, because this is I like the format. It was very clear to read. I guess a rating of like, hey, 95 is like really good, or when does it get to like medium, or when it gets bad?
We are building that. So we are working on that in order to provide more data of basically a rating of this car compared to all the other cars on the market, because at the moment we don't have enough data to perform that.
Makes sense.
But as we collect more data, as we enlarge our base of cars that we tested, we're gonna build this, and we're already working on that.
Theory, I guess if I were gonna sell this car, I can put that certificate and be like, hey, look at the health of my car, the battery.
Absolutely.
And they can look at all the details.
Yeah, this is, as I said before, is only at the moment a B2B product, but as we were saying before, if you want then to show this report on, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace or whatever platform you're using to sell your car in the future, you can do it. We hope it will provide a lot of different details and data, also confidence to future customers and future EV owners.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. There's a lot of potential, and I definitely feel like there is a need for something like this, like a real like certificate of like how the car is, because EVs are so different as far as like checking the health of it and making sure, before you buy, exactly like your story, what you said before with the Tesla. So, all right. And just out of curiosity, you said it's not, my car is at 95% state of health. How do you find that accuracy? Like, how do you get that data? Like, let's say if I went to Hyundai themselves and asked them, like, would it be exactly the same, or is it similar?
Yeah, we got asked this question many times. We don't just read data from the CAN bus or the BMS, and we verify those data that we collect with our own models. So meaning that when we build compatibility and we create compatibility with a specific make and model, we drive that specific make and model, let's say Ioniq 5, with the data we are collecting and in a navigation app, basically, in a navigation system that is based on our model, in order to verify if those data are correct or not. So yeah, this is to provide customers with more accuracy, because we know that data that are stored in a CAN bus from the OEM sometimes could not be completely correct. So we verify that driving and verifying if the energy that the battery is capable of storing is accurate, is checked by our own models.
So it's more accurate than, like we were talking about before, going on Amazon and buying like in just a standard OBD that just, because that tests differently, right, than what you guys test?
They are basically just taking the data that is stored in a CAN bus, providing you those data as it is correct or not.
Right.
So yeah, there is a further validation we do by driving those cars, those specific make and models we have compatibility with, to verify if these data are correct. And you can find the compatibility list and the supported model on our website, getvoltest.com.
I do appreciate it. If businesses wanted to find you, where can they look for you? Or
you can go to getvoltest.com. This is our website. I also post a lot on LinkedIn if you want to find content talking about the product and what we do. And yeah, other than that, you can just find me on LinkedIn. I'm Davide Giacobbe. Message me at davide.giacobbe@getvoltest.com.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, David.
Thank you so much.
David, thank you. All right, so I just want to say thank you to Davide for just giving me the opportunity to interview him. This was my first interview, and this was my first time doing a video like this, and I do apologize to everyone, including him, if it seemed a little awkward or if I wasn't making eye contact all the way. I wasn't sure what to do because I was asking him questions, and I was just like, should I look away? Because I don't want him to feel nervous, so I didn't want to like look at him like, all right. So it was kind of like a learning opportunity for me because I've never interviewed anybody, and again, I don't make videos like this. He was really nice. He was really, really patient, really nice, and I really enjoy what he had to say. And I'll give my opinion in just a second, but I do just really want to thank him and Voltest for just talking to me, giving me the opportunity. I'm a small creator. And so again, thank you for everyone at Voltest, and thank you again for Davide for giving me the opportunity to know more about him and know more about Voltest. All right, so what are my opinions? What do I think about Voltest? What do I think about everything he said? I think this company is a great idea. I love the concept of it. I love the idea of a OBD EV specific tester, right? But it's not just a tester itself. It's also the software and everything. Everything is just like in one company. It's like all in-house, right? The data, all of that. They're doing a lot of work. So for me, I love the idea that everything's just in one area. It's not like you go buy a different company's tester and then you have to use a different company's app. And then like if it doesn't work, or you have to do something to make it work, or you have to do whatever, right? It's not complicated. It's just one company that has the software, the hardware, and the data. And I love that. The other thing I love is that it's a certification, right? It's like, hey, we tested this with this product. You get a certification that says, hey, you have this % of battery. Here's the health of the cells. And it gives you like all this information. Hey, this car was supercharged more than it was like normal charge. Like it gives you a lot of details that no other product can give you. So I really love that aspect. And I think there is a need for that. Like I said, I feel like this could be the future of like Carfax, or an addition to Carfax, right? It's like, hey, show me the Voltest, right? I want to make sure if I'm buying a used vehicle, used EV, that the battery is healthy, right? Or see the condition of how the previous owner treated the car. Did they just supercharge it all the time like I did? Hey. So I really think there's a necessity, and I really like the direction that they're going in. For me, from what I've seen on Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, there's so many EV consumers that want to test out their battery. They are curious, or they feel like they need to know, and manufacturers obviously don't give us the tools to look at it. Like I can't just go into the settings of the Ioniq 5 and see, you know, the 95% state of health. I feel like there's a big opportunity for them to sell a consumer product, right? And if they really do want to kind of like limit it to where, you know, you can only test it maybe like twice a month or something like that, or even get like a health report like once a month, I feel like that would be great. As a designer myself, and as someone who critiques the design, I really, really like their design of the chart, right? Here's the preview, right? Here's all my information. Here's the 95% state of health. Here's all the information. It's very simple, right? The only thing I would like to add is more details, right? But he said in the interview, he said that he's working on that. His team is working on that. And that's something that they can improve, and they are improving. So I'm happy to hear that. Overall, like I said, I feel like there is a need and want of EV owners wanting to know how healthy their battery is. There is a need for CarMax, dealerships, repair shops, whatnot, to know how healthy a battery is. So there are needs for this, and I like the direction they're going in. All of their data in-house, they're doing all their testing themselves, they're doing all the software themselves, the hardware themselves. So I really, really am impressed, and I really hope they succeed, and I really appreciate the opportunity to interview him, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm crossing my fingers for a consumer-friendly version of this that, you know, I would be willing to buy, and I'm sure a lot of you are willing to buy just to get a certificate, or at least just to see the health of the battery, right? That's the main thing. And again, I just want to say thank you to Voltest for this opportunity. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully it was insightful. With all that said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.